right, everybody wants to get in on the podcasting act like Rod in Memphis, Tennessee. Rod wrote in asking, I'm thinking about starting a podcast to complement my blog. However, I am on a budget and I own a MacBook. Are there any quality microphones you could suggest that are compatible with MacBooks but priced under $100? Rod in Memphis, Tennessee. This is actually a much broader question because if it's good for recording voice, it should be good for recording a lot of things.
Yeah, but
right?
there are microphones that are specifically tailored for voice, right. And there are actually a lot of microphones out there that are supposed to be tailored for podcasting or that come in podcast kits. But we'll get to that.
Usually, yeah.
They're not usually
it's
the highest quality,
microphone.
but still. At home, I use a Shure SM7B, and that's going to throw you back around $350. So that's not really an under.
You gave up on the 58?
Huh?
You gave up on
We
your
still
punk
have them
rock
at home,
roots?
but these are like, it's just a really good vocal mic.
Right.
It's really super high quality.
It's
We
an
use
actual
it with the Fast
like
Track
professional
Pro.
mic, not like the,
Yeah.
You know.
But that's more than you probably need. Like you said, the SM58 is a great vocal mic,
right.
although you might want to invest in a little like pop filter or windsock, something to put in front of it so you don't get that sound. I do that a lot when I talk, especially when I'm recording voiceovers or podcasts.
Everything Veronica owns either has like will a split screen work for that?
Where are you going with this? What are you trying to say here?
You always have big, giant, fluffy things wrapped around any microphone that you
I
use
do. I'm very
regularly.
poppy.
Yes, you are poppy.
I punctuate my P's too much.
It doesn't need general perkiness.
And while we're on the short kick, I have the. Where is
Can
it?
you basically make a pop filter out of like a nylon stocking and a piece of hanger?
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
You don't have
We
to,
should
like,
do that
spend,
sometime.
Like,
Yeah,
$100
maybe next week we can bring in some DIY like pop filters that people can use because that would be actually super handy for you guys to know
The best part, of course,
about.
is buying the stockings in the supermarket if you don't have stockings laying around the house.
Well, this is coming from the people that made those replacement ear pads with the socks. You guys remember that? That was awesome.
Sock mod.
That was one of my favorite mods on the show. But this is the Shure X2U, which we've talked about a little bit before. I don't use it with my podcasting station now, but whenever I'm kind of on the go and I have whatever mic is available to me, you can just take the XLR input here and then plug this end into the other side on your computer.
It has phantom power.
And it's great. Yeah, you can have
digital to
mic
analog
gain,
converters,
volume.
analog digital converters.
You actually have a monitor plug here for your headphones. You can listen to it as it's coming through live.
Nice.
So it's about $130, but it's a really good investment if you're going to be doing a lot of mobile podcasting,
Right.
or if you have a lot of microphones at home that you've been using for band setups and just want something that'll work with your computer right out of the box.
What about like Blue has their whole lineup of like the Snowball and the other microphones?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
So
I know you're a fan of the Blues.
You got me thinking about USB there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as for other mics and setups, there's the Alesis USB mic podcasting kit, like I mentioned, for $100, which Wired actually gave a pretty decent review of.
There was a really bad point when podcasting was like had a lot of buzz, and people were like, "Oh my goodness, we're going to take a crappy Chinese microphone, and we're going to take a crappy Chinese, not saying anything against Chinese, but basically like the worst possible audio gear that they couldn't sell. They threw in a box and they labeled podcasting, and they sold it to people with a really badly written guide."
Well, sometimes it came with some software, which was helpful. This kit, I think, actually comes with a copy of Audacity on CD. So, if you don't have an internet connection, you can't download.
Yeah, if you have an internet connection to download Audacity.
I don't know why they put it on a CD. That's kind of weird.
So they can say it's in the box.
That's true. It's part of the kit.
Includes free audio editing software. I was mocked recently for my love of Audacity. And then the person who mocked me showed me their insane, like 42,000 filters running simultaneously on their super cool guy
I was the guy doing the mocking probably 5 years ago when I first met Ryan. This is a funny story, actually. When I first met Ryan, we were talking about podcasting, and I was producing the podcast over at CNET, and they had just started up the Engadget podcast.
Which, in the CNET, if you haven't seen it, like the CNET, they had radio studios, like full-on, glorious
like
piles of high-end audio gear, $17,000 worth of mics.
Broadcast quality, like software and editing stuff. And I had just come out of college, too, so I was used to using Pro Tools and all the like super expensive gear. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, we use Audacity to edit the podcast." And I go, "Audacity?" Like some kind of big, stupid snob. And he still makes fun of me for that. And every single time I say Audacity, I think in my mind, Audacity? Anyway, the Marshall Electronics MXL Studio 1 is a little bit over your budget, $129, but it has some decent reviews. And finally, as Patrick noted, one of our favorite USB microphones is the Blue Microphones Snowball USB mic, which you can find pretty much all over the internet from anywhere between $80 to $130.
Voted the most likely microphone to be stolen out of the Revision 3 offices.
Yeah, it's cute.
Borrowed semi-permanently.
It's cute. It's just a really nice little microphone. It's good for taking on the go also.
And they have it's a little bulky to turn it into what kind of bag. If you have like a flat computer bag, that big round ball doesn't pack very well.
That's true.
But if you have a backpack, it works pretty well. They have a stainless steel version now too.
Do they?
I saw it.